Welcome to the Dork Forest. Jackie and her pals will never bore us. Shameless confessions
about our obsession
will make us laugh and smile. So let's explore the Dork Forest and dork out for a while.
Hello and welcome to the Dork Forest. I'm Jackie Cation. I am your host of the Dork Forest. You probably know the websites, JackieCation.com, DorkForest.com, TheDorkForest.com. We're all over iTunes and whoever has downloaded it and repurposed it for whatever your needs. That's right. So feel free to review the show on iTunes. Feel free to email me, Jackie@JackieCation.com, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns. Anyway, let's do the credits. Mike Rickberg composed and sang that song you just heard. He sang it with his wife, Sarah. He'll sing again his words to the Mexican hat dance at the end of the program. Patrick Brady is going to fix this audio, and Vilmos does my website. Okay. There are many ways to support the show. Let's talk about them. The easiest way is just to tell other people about the show and follow me on Twitter and Instagram and Snapchat at Jackie Cation and tell people, word of mouth. Another way to support the show financially, doesn't cost you anything, is the Amazon banner. On JackieCation.com, there's an Amazon banner under support the show. And on DorkForest.com, there's just an Amazon link that takes you to Amazon. And both take you to Amazon. You order like normal, and the show gets a little bit of a kickback. Doesn't cost you extra. It's just a way, if you order from Amazon, to help the show. More direct way of helping the show, you can give money to the show via PayPal. There's a PayPal button under the Support the Show page on JackieCation.com, and there's a PayPal button on DorkForest.com. You can donate directly. If you want to give monthly, I haven't made that easy. I don't have a monthly setup. I know that it's easy. I just don't have any time to do it. So you have to remember every month that you like the show and then give me money. So I'll use it wisely on audio cables and chocolate, whatever. Another way to support the show, if you don't like PayPal, is people have been Venmoing me money. I'll take it. That seems lovely. Jackie@JackieCation.com. It's just under Jackie Cation. So whatever. If you have listened to all 600 and whatever episodes of the Dork Forest and would like more Dork Forest, there are premium episodes, probably a dozen of them. And they are, in the last couple of years, if I do a live episode, it usually costs me some money. So I have been putting them up on Bandcamp, and they cost money. They cost $2 a pop. But if you go to the dorkforest.bandcamp.com, you can see those different shows. They're usually live episodes around the world. And there is also four stories on a sort of a handmade storytelling album that I made over there too. And those are just $1 each. So if you want to go to Bandcamp, you can do that as well. You can order merch on JackieCation.com. There are shirts and CDs and a DVD of my stand-up. There's the stand-up CDs, Circus People, It's Never Gonna Be Bread, This Will Make an Excellent Horcrux, and my brand new album, I Am Not the Hero of This Story. And they're all available as CDs on JackieCation.com. They're all available digitally on Amazon and iTunes, and you can just listen to them on Pandora and Spotify and whatever. So, but if you like hard copies, let me know if you want them signed or not. There's also a DVD of the Horcrux album, which is video. That's what a DVD is. And you can download that at comedyfilmnerds.com if you just like a download. Okay, there are shirts. There's my stand-up shirt, Spooky Reading Girl. There's also 2 Dork Forest t-shirts. So there's the Ranger of the Dork Forest t-shirt, and there is a Dork Forest logo shirt. And all the shirts are made in the United States, union made, so they run a little big because they're made by Americans. Other than that, my stand-up is available on the website, on JackieCation.com. You can watch my Conan sets. You can watch a bunch of different stand-up sets. You can, and then you can see what my schedule's like. Enough of this. Let's get into the show. It's a really good one. Hey, it's Jackie Cation. I'm in my living room we have known each other for 1,000 generations, and yet we never hang out because you live far away, and so do I.
Well, I think it's just, too, that we're both headliners, and I find
that,
you know, when you get to both be headlining status, you never get to be...
Right, you never get to, unless there's festivals that you get to do, and then it's comedy camp, and it's lovely.
Or you hear, oh, we just had a woman last week. Jackie Cation was here. We can't book you.
Debi Gutierrez might be my own age, which is why she knows that comment. Because you know what? The kids don't hear that anymore.
What?
We had a woman last week.
Really?
Not because it's not happening, but because they don't say it.
Did they say, are you on YouTube?
No,
Because apparently
I'm
those
sure they
YouTubers.
say that too. Oh yeah, there's plenty of work
Jackie,
there.
I'm the oldest one. I'm the oldest one.
You are not. You are
No,
not
I
the
am.
oldest one.
I am going to
Paula
be.
Poundstone, Elaine Boozler, Kate Clinton is 69 years old.
I'm 50. I'll be 57 in July.
Congratulations. I'm
Yeah.
going to be 52.
No, you're not, Jackie.
Sure I am.
Oh,
sure
my
I am.
gosh.
Emotionally very young.
Oh my gosh, Jackie, I've known you longer than one of the kids.
Well, Debi Gutierrez is on my program, The Dork Forest.
Sorry. I get all excited. I forget. Okay. Do your intro. Do your intro. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just going to tell people that you should go see Debi Gutierrez, who it's whenever anybody asks me, I was like, this is going to sound terrible, but it isn't. It's mommy comedy. It's Latino mommy comedy. And you're like, well, fuck you. And I'm like, no, it's funny. So just you wanted to know what kind of comedy it was. You know how like people are like,
Right.
what kind of comedy do you do? And I'm like, you actually, there's an answer to that.
Yeah.
But then they judge you because they think that that's all it is.
Right.
And that is not all it is.
No, it's grown
because
up
it turns
quite
out
a
your
bit.
brain is attached to your mouth
Right.
and you can talk about anything.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what, too, my act has grown up, and maybe we can get into that a little bit later, but my act grew up into leaving the kids basically behind and realizing they need to leave.
Get out.
Eventually they have to leave. And here I am, buttering the wrong piece of bread, and the right piece of bread was my husband all along. And I'm like,
That sounds sexy times.
Right?
You
Yeah,
want to
but
butter that male. Anyway,
Absolutely.
what is happening with me? Okay, so Debi on the web, Debi, by the way. It's
yes,
Debi
keep your
Gutierrez.
eye on the web.
And Debi is spelled with an I, but Gutierrez is spelled like Gutierrez,
Yeah.
right? It's just G-U-I.
G-U-T.
Wait, G-U-T?
G-U-T.
Why do I always put an I in it?
Everybody does.
Oh, that's because I'm like, did you just spell it how it's supposed? And I was like, and then I get
I
it
think
wrong.
people spell it like they say it if they're saying it in English.
Okay,
So it's Gutierrez,
G-U-T.
G-U-T-I-E-R-R, easy.
Easy.
Gutierrez. Gutierrez.
Hello.
Hello.
My Spanish is non-existent.
Mine too. My white husband has to tell me when my family's making fun of me. They're
that-
like, they're talking about you. I thought gordita meant sexy.
What does it mean?
It kind of means you have the body of a meatball.
Oh, you know what? My grandmother used to call me patates, which
What is
is either Turkish or Armenian for potato. So people are flattering, is what we're telling you about. As our family members are super flattering. Anyway, it's Debi on the web, DEBI on the web, on Twitter and Facebook and all the things.
Yeah.
So, and you are headlining in September at MGM in Vegas.
MGM
So
Grand in Las Vegas.
that's exciting. And you have a book. This isn't going to come out till next month. So, it'll probably be back in stock. It's called Satan's Square.
Say it.
I wanted to be called Satan's Square. I was like, that's the greatest name ever. And you were like,
I'm like,
Satan's
what?
Square. I was like, I thought you were Catholic.
Oh.
No, anyway, so
Say it in a square.
that's what it's called? Say
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. And we were asked to leave our church, so I don't think I'm anything anymore. Yeah.
What happened? What
They
happened in the
wanted us
church?
to sign a
Your church wanted you to sign something.
sign a Christian character waiver. And it would mean leaving two of our kids behind. Basically, we wouldn't associate or support members of the LGBTQ. And there was also no drinking, no this, no that. And it was crazy. And I'm the mom of an L, and
Yeah.
I am the mom of a T. And we support and love
Everybody.
our children. Yeah.
Yeah, they're.
Yeah.
You know what I like to do? Just support whatever's. I'm not
Exactly.
them.
Yeah.
We do whatever the.
Right. Or like our kids say.
So they need.
Yeah. Like our kids say, Jesus said we hate figs. Figs.
Right. That's
so
hilarious.
I think that, I
So you had to part ways.
yeah, and I love Jesus, and I think I'm doing the right thing for marriage and families by going out there saying, I don't care, son or daughter, what your label
Yeah.
is. I love that you have a label. I get that it means how you label yourself is how you see yourself, how you love yourself, how you love others, but get a job. You know what I mean?
that's
so it's
it.
still the mom thing. It's still the mom thing.
Oh,
that I'm
that's
out there-
interesting. I have an Aunt Jackie kind of theory of that, which is just like you could be a frickin' gummy bear, and I will refer to you as they if
Yeah.
you need to because
Yeah.
you don't want to address your genitals.
Right.
But I I will not support you financially.
Right. Get a job. Or you know what? It's just like you'll hear like, and then my youngest did a whole flow chart for me of what is what, you know? So
right.
what is cisgender? What is pansexual? And then she says to me, she goes, so I'm
Does pansexual play a flute?
And
I'm going to need it to be a pan flute.
So then she says, didn't I tell you that? And I'm like, no. And she goes, I could have sworn I told you that. Anyway, okay, so that's what I am. And then there's, you know, so she's describing all these things about sexuality and gender identification. And it was so funny. We get to asexual, and she says that's when somebody does really, sex is not a thing for them.
Right.
It doesn't affect them. They're not interested in it. And I said, am I asexual? She goes, Mommy, you're just tired. You're just tired.
That is also true.
Yeah, because I'm a mom. So
Right. So, but let's talk about your dorkdom because we're in it.
Yeah.
So people know who you are now, and they know how to go see some comedy. And
Jackie Cation.
And I am Jackie Cation. And you enjoy the old timey television show.
I do.
Bewitched.
Bewitched.
All of it?
All of it. Not the movie. I didn't care for the movie.
Oh, really?
No.
Okay.
No.
But the TV
show I thought was absolutely fascinating.
So when it comes on, you're like, oh, I guess I'll watch this.
Yeah, and I have my companion book, and we'll go through it and look at the writers, look at the plot.
Oh, interesting.
I think it's very deep. You know, it's not just, oh, twitch your nose, isn't that cute? I think it was really deep, and it was the first show to ever address a mixed marriage. And, you know,
there was I Love Lucy. People always said that he was
That's
because he
true.
was Cuban, and
Yeah.
it was like him and his melanin were terrifying.
Right.
But everybody was okay with it in the end
Yeah.
because it was funny.
It was, right. Funny
yeah.
is funny. It's like the whole thing of being a mom to kids of different gender identities. It's like, you know what? Okay, I get it. What are you bringing to the potluck?
Right.
Because you need to sign up for something, and you need to call your mom on Sunday.
That's know what I do a joke about how because there's a new mosque. One of the Catholic churches got turned into a mosque in my hometown.
Yeah.
And I asked my dad how everybody was taking it, and he said the funniest thing. He said, most people get it. Just means the place is going to be crawling with lapsed Muslims 30 years from now.
Right.
And I have been trying to tell people that it just means that a woman in a headscarf, you're going to have to ask her what's in her Jell-O salad.
Exactly.
It's a Wisconsin Muslim. There's going to be mint in her Jell-O salad. You're like, well, it's refreshing.
Mint in the Jell-O salad?
Have you ever had mint in a Jell-O salad?
I have not.
It's lovely.
I'm not Jackie Cation. The reason I say your name Jackie Cation all the time is because that's how you're referred to at our house. Like this. I'll say something about Jackie, and Pilar goes, Jackie Cation, Lori Kilmartin. She sings the whole song. Jackie Cation, Lori Kilmartin. And she sings the whole song.
Oh.
And then
that's good because I tend to refer to people as their full names as well.
Do you?
So yeah, but I think you're right about Bewitched because it was a mixed marriage in the way, but it was a tricky mixed marriage. They were like, we can address all these issues because she's a magical person,
right?
And we can say, what would it be like to marry someone who wasn't exactly like you, and her parents don't like him because
the parents never liked him, and he has been changed into so many things. Everything, right? I mean, if you
like a table of chairs.
Yeah, if you just read the label of animals that they had on the show that he was changed into. You know, a goat, a pig, a bird, a crow, whatever it was. And so he put up with a lot. And all she wanted, this was a woman who could have anything.
Right.
And just wanted him and just loved him completely.
Yeah.
And, so yeah, the magic was fun to watch. The fashion is fantastic.
Oh, really?
Oh, the fashion just holds up so well, I think.
What year did it start?
1961 was the pilot. They went into 1962, I think, starting that it got the pickup because it didn't get a pickup. And then unfortunately, President Kennedy was killed and everything went on hiatus. Everything that was coming out. Can you imagine going to start your show?
It affected the TV schedule?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Especially for Elizabeth Montgomery and her husband at the time, William Asher, because they were close friends of the Kennedys.
Oh, weird.
So they were just
devastated.
And then Gilligan's Island, I think they were filming like the first or second show when they got the news, and they were in Hawaii. And that's back when somebody had to come into the room and say, oh my God, our
Something
president's
horrible.
been shot.
Yeah.
It's not like you read it, within seconds and
Right.
whether it's true or not. So it deeply affected what was going on. And in my mind, I think that's where we get, because I'm a huge nerd about the 1960s fantasy comedies, is that we were trying to get away from what was going on TV.
Oh, the Cold War kind of stuff?
Yeah, we were
Okay.
watching what was pouring in. We just finished with the whole
Gilligan's?
Bay of Pigs, and we were on to the Korean War and
Vietnam. You're talking Vietnam.
Vietnam. Yeah.
What are the sort of the great shows, the escape shows? You're talking about Gilligan's Island and Bewitched, right? Or
And
I
the
Dream
Munsters.
Oh, the Munsters?
I Dream of Jeannie.
Okay.
It could be said that, they found that Bewitched was top of their spot their second year. So everybody, the business, that Jackie Cation is amazing. Bring in another Jackie Cation. We
right.
want more Jackie Cations. And then Jackie Cation retires and then they go, come back, Jackie Cation. Jackie Cation, we're going to reboot you. So,
Is that what they did with Bewitched?
no, I think that's what they did with I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, okay.
Where it was like, another cute little blonde, magical, has a mortal she's,
Right.
loves dearly. Family doesn't back it up.
Right.
I think the Munsters had a different kind of view in that. You ever watch the Munsters?
When I was a child.
Yeah.
I have seen it since. Doesn't hold up as well as you might think.
You don't think so?
I'm wrong. Okay.
No, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a clip that went viral of Herman Munster talking to Eddie going, and Eddie had been bullying some kids that didn't
Right.
look like him. And he said, I don't care if they are white, black, yellow, blue, plaid. We are nice to other people and we don't judge them by what they look like. And so I think that holds up, of course. And Here's
Yeah.
this family that, and they address things like, oh my gosh, those Munsters are moving in our street. You know what that's going to do to my house value? So they were talking about things that I think were also happening in the real world.
Yeah.
And kind of giving us a look into kind of a fantastical way of accepting
Right.
or seeing ourselves like, oh shit, that's
It's a
me.
classic comedy
Yeah.
thing to do, is where you make people laugh and think at the same time.
Yeah.
So you think that all of those sitcoms in the 60s were doing that?
I think so.
I
There were
think you're
some that
right.
were just silly.
Yeah.
Gilligan's Island. But you know what? Sometimes you need silly. Sometimes you need silly.
Right.
But I think Bewitched had
Yeah,
a
I don't know that
message.
Gilligan's Island had a lot of. Yeah, I'm trying to
No.
think of what the message of.
No.
It was mostly just friendship.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
mostly just, it was teamwork and friendship, and we're still trapped on this island.
Right. And anytime you're in a group where you have to be in a group for a couple of years, whether it be a class or whatever it is, you hate them at first. And then you're like, you know what? I kind of like this gal.
Right.
I'm
Well,
going to defend her to other people.
Right. You just get attached to people like their family.
Sure.
I've male comics. I got a couple of friends, not just male comics, like all comics. I have several friends of all genders who are irritating to people I love, but I've known them for 30 years.
Right.
And I'm like, he's all right. He's just, he's just got
It's
a
a
mouth
quirk.
on him.
Yeah.
It's a quirk. But I've known him for 30 years.
Right.
So.
A little cheap, kind of dirty.
Yeah, I can just tell him to shut up.
Yeah.
You should just tell him to shut up.
Hit
He
him
likes
on the
that.
nose.
He knows better.
Yeah.
So Bewitched. What are your favorite episodes or messages or clothes?
Oh my gosh,
Or-
the clothes were just amazing from the 1960s. And then I think I really liked it as a kid. I love the messages of acceptance and love, but watching it as someone who's studying acting right now, just really studying and pursuing the development of character and how Elizabeth Montgomery, got tired of the character because it was a wonderful character. They re-upped her for something like 7 years. And
Right.
she's like, so I have to be this person for 7 years. So that's when they came in with the character of Serena, which was the cousin.
Oh, right,
who was
right.
completely different.
And played by also Elizabeth Montgomery.
but she kept it on the clips, on the credits. It was Pandora Sparks because she wanted to keep that kind of the
illusion,
secret.
or-
Yeah, the
okay.
illusion. Yeah. So, and I love all the guest stars that she had come on that were amazing movie stars in their own right. Dick Sargent.
Yeah.
Was an amazing, Dick York, the first one.
Okay, so it was Dick York and then Dick Sargent?
Sargent,
So
yeah.
Dick York was in black and white?
Yes.
And how long? Black and White was like 2 or 3 seasons, right?
Yeah.
And then he passed away?
No. He was hurt on a Western he did.
Oh, okay.
And hurt his back pretty badly and then became dependent on pills and then could not move without pills.
Oh,
and,
weird.
Yeah. And so he had a complete seizure on set. So they had to get in there and write 7 or 8 scripts where he was going to be away. And then they put all those shows at the end of the season and then brought in a new
Really?
Darren. They never even explained it to the audience, just brought in a new one.
So there were like 5 or 6, there were 6 or 7 episodes where Dick York, was he first? Did
Yeah,
you say?
was gone.
Was not in the show.
Right. Right.
What are those episodes about?
Like, hey, honey, how are you? On the phone or.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah.
he's on the road or something.
Yeah.
He's on like
Yeah.
trips.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And so they really played up a lot of the characters, Uncle Arthur and Dora and Maurice and the kids or the one kid, Tabitha.
Wait, did they have the kid in black and white?
Yeah, they did.
Okay, so she had the kid in black and white.
Yeah.
And
Then it went to color, I think the second or third year.
right, with Dick Sargent.
No, Dick York was in color as well.
Oh, was he?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I did not remember that either.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
So Dick York, so let's say it's 4
Because
seasons.
it was making money, so it could go in color because that's a lot of money.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So things were in black and white because it was cheaper.
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that
Yeah.
either. That
Yeah.
makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Color film being more expensive than black
Yeah.
and white, except for now, because now it's nostalgic. But that's so crazy.
Yeah. So they put those episodes at the end of the season.
Like episode 3 or 4 or something? Like
No.
whatever his last season was.
What's his I think his last season was the middle of the 3rd season.
Okay.
I could be wrong.
And did they show him at all, like on the phone?
They brought him in like to do the kiss goodbye, say goodbye to daddy.
Yeah.
But there were, I think, like 7 episodes where he's completely not there.
Oh my God.
And what I love going behind the scenes and looking at is how dedicated the rest of the crew and staff were to him. I think there's this greed right now in acting and sitcoms. Yeah. There's, kick you out of oh, really? You're sick? Well, okay, here, let me grab your script.
Yeah. I don't know anything about it.
Trip over your convulsing body and let me take this. But, and he worked to the day he died for homeless kinds of foundations.
Okay. That was his philanthropic thing.
Yeah, that was his
screen?
passion, like to the day he died. But he died of complications with emphysema years after the show was over.
Okay, like in the 70s or something? Or
yeah. Boy, you're
Okay.
asking me all these dates, and I'm like,
No,
oh.
that's decades are fine. I don't care.
I know the stories.
It's,
And so then Dick Sargent came on, and his story was interesting because he was gay, but it was back in the day where, as he said, bios had phony wives. They had their beards out there so that people would
so
buy
he
the
was
show.
married to a woman?
Dick Sargent.
Dick Sargent was legally
On
married?
his bio. They have
on
a
his
wife.
bio.
But he had a partner for years and years and years. And when he did come out, he came out in such a big, wonderful way. He was Grand Marshal of the
Like the Rose Bowl or something?
no, the Outfest.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or one of those, either the LGBTQ Pride or Outfest.
Like a
I can't
Pride
remember.
Fest or
It was
an
a
Out thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so he asked Elizabeth Montgomery to sit in the car with him, and she absolutely agreed, and supported him. And
Yeah.
I just love that these actors, it wasn't just about the money. It was about going to work with friends and being supportive of friends, and everybody was cheerful on set, and it was all about the work. And then they lived lives at home.
Right. They had real lives.
They had real lives and,
Yeah.
and real causes.
Well, supposedly that's like Matt Damon's thing. That's why he's never out.
Yeah.
It's because he has a wife.
Yeah.
He's like, no, I have to go home.
Yeah.
And
or like
so
me, I would
there's-
have to go pack sandwiches. I never had time to shoot the shit at the bar.
Right. There's no Star Magazine there's like very few Star Magazine shots of Matt Damon because he's like, No, I got a life to lead.
Yeah.
But I would love to do your project. Talk to my manager.
Don't you think that
so-
living life is what makes you a better comic, a better actor,
For sure.
a better writer?
Yeah.
You know, that you
having
can-
a whole life is important, I think.
Absolutely. And
Yeah.
it keeps your feet on the ground. You know, I had a show on PBS for 3 years and I was the, for lack of a better word, it sounds so obnoxious, but I was the star of the show. You know,
What was it called?
A Place of Our Own.
Okay.
On KCET. We won the Peabody.
Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Lost 3 Emmys, but we won the Peabody.
but nominated for 3 Emmys. There
Sucks
you
to
go.
lose. Everybody's like, it's such an honor. It's like
be nominated.
It's so awful when you lose.
Well, but you were, that's, all right.
But so anyway, so Place of Our Own. And you would just go like this, hold your hand out, coffee, and there'd be coffee in your hand because it was all about keeping you going. Plus I
Right.
shot 5 shows in one day.
Oh my God.
So it was about keeping me going, you know, and keeping
Yeah.
me caffeinated, keeping me happy, keeping me up to speed. And so then I would get home and there'd be dishes and I didn't even eat there.
Right.
And I was like, what? You
Whose
know?
dishes are
Yeah.
these?
And my husband goes, keeping you real, babe. Keeping you real.
Yeah. I mean, there's no reason. Yeah. It's like Maria has that show on Lady Dynamite.
I love that show.
And did you get to do it this year? Didn't you get to do
No,
it? You couldn't do it?
No, I couldn't do it.
Oh, fair. I couldn't do it either. But I love how she wants us all to do it. She's like, is there
So nice. Isn't
and she doesn't have any power, you know? She's
Yeah.
like, I'm one of the executive producers, but it's not like I could say, well, book this person and they'll try, but
Yeah.
they can't, they don't always do it. So
She's amazing.
Yeah.
And I love her transparency about money. Love it.
Did you watch the commencement
Love
thing?
it. Yes. Loved it. And you know what? Let me say about your dad.
Yes.
The Never Say No Without a Number.
Yes.
Powerful.
Oh, it's great.
Powerful.
Well, you know, I was, yeah.
I heard your Valentine's gig story. I was walking and I listened to Jackie Cash and Lori Kilmartin.
What was the
'cause that's how we
Valentine's?
say it. They called you to work for Valentine's Day. And so you shot them a big number. And they, like your dad said, never
Yep.
say no without a number. And they came back, yes. And you're like, so I'm working Valentine's Day. And so they shot me a gig on my birthday. I'm like, Planet of the Apes is coming out. And that's my thing because it always comes out on
you do it?
July 14th. I said, yeah. I'm like, I shot a number.
Oh, good.
Like,
Yeah.
And they came back, great. I'm like, so I'm working on my birthday. I'll see Planet of the Apes the next day.
That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the first time I did it though, because I used to tell the story on stage, and I'll do it again. It's not like I mean, it's fine. But my dad told me to, because I told him I didn't want to do a show, and he said, "What was the first thing I taught you?" And then I said, "Pick up other people's change," and he said, "What the fuck are you talking about?" He did not say what the fuck, but he was like, he got actually mad. And I said, I'm kidding. And then he said, never say no without a number. And I was like, that does sound familiar, but what does it mean?
Yeah.
And then he explained what it meant. And so I tried it, but I didn't make the number high enough.
Yeah.
And so I had to go to Montana in the winter and follow, an hour and a half of comedy, an intermission, and then do another 45 minutes. It was the dumbest show ever. It was Lisa Alvarado and Alicia Cooper and I. And they each did, I think Alicia did 30 and then Lisa Alvarado did 45. And then there was yeah.
What?
And then there was a half hour intermission. And then I was to do 45 to an hour. And we got there and we looked at the woman and she was like, people always say that my audiences aren't going to like it, but they like it. And I was like, you sure? And so, Alicia and I were reminiscing because we had gone over Middle East together. We're just talking in the green room and the woman comes in and she's like, oh, they are getting a little tired. Is there a way to shorten Lisa Alvarado's set? And I said, did you tell Lisa Alvarado to do 45 minutes? And she said, yeah. And I said, then I will bet you that she will do 45. You can light her early, but she will do 45 minutes to the second, because she is a professional.
Right.
And she will not be prorated. She will not have anyone ever say that she didn't do her time.
Yeah.
And that's because she was like, well, I'm going to light her. And it was 30. And then guess what Lisa Alvarado did? Another
45.
15 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, I had
And
the 15-minute light.
15-minute light. I guess I'll wrap it up here in 15 minutes. And then I had to go up and they were exhausted.
Oh my God.
And I was like, okay, in the middle of Montana. It was the middle of Montana with just a bunch of some weird women's group. And I asked for $3,000. I thought it was a lot of money.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay. And I'm like, God dang it.
Right? Don't
I should
you
have
hate
asked
that?
for 30.
I know. Oh my gosh, I hate when that
Anyway,
happens.
but we have weeded off into comedy business talk.
Because of your dad. But wait, I have one more story real quick.
Please.
It's about you.
Oh, my God.
And it's something that I've shared with my kids. And
Yes.
they share with their friends about Jackie Cation.
You're dorking out about me.
Yeah. So we were in New York, and you and I and a bunch of other women, it might have been the Marshall's Comedy Festival. I don't remember.
Oh, back in the day.
And your sister showed up. She's so sweet. So
Right.
she came, and we all went for drinks. And I don't drink. And so we were counting like how much we spent for a couple drinks. And I'm like, I drink like a soda.
Right.
And then you spent $17 on an O'Doul's.
Right.
Because you go, I don't know how I spent. I don't know why I remember all this.
Yeah.
You spent $17 on O'Doul's. So I tell that story to my girls. I go, always take singles when you go out with your friends.
Okay.
Because Jackie Cation put down a 20 and got 3 back.
Okay.
So she paid $17 for no duels. So to this day, my kids take singles and 5s. That way when the bill comes, you can go, mine was 23 and I'm tipping, bam, bam,
This
bam,
amount.
6.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
talk to me about
So-
Bewitched.
Bewitched, The Munsters, Gilligan's Island, I Dream of Jeannie. I think really fun on one level, where it was really fun to see this fantastical, wonderful thing that, at the end, everybody wins except Gilligan's Island. They never got off the island.
Right.
But it was so amazing to see this couple on Bewitched so in love. And that's all they had when she could have had the world. And yet that's all she wanted.
And he didn't want anything more either.
No, he wanted what he could provide for them. And she respected that. And I know it's a very old fashioned idea. It's what works.
At the time, it was considered an old-fashioned idea. So, I mean,
Yeah.
everybody has always said being sane is an old-fashioned idea. But the thing is there's still billions of people living sane lives every year.
Yeah, or that works. Like
Yeah.
with me and my husband, like for a while I was the breadwinner, and you remember, he stayed home with those kids and he got them off to school and he did everything he could. And now things have turned. So I'm supporting him in what he does. And he's an amazing musician. So I'm supporting him in that. And now it's his turn.
Yeah.
To go and spread his wings.
Well,
But
I think that certainly makes sense. And it's like they rarely solved problems with magic,
Right.
did they?
No, they caused problems. That was usually the cause of it, and they had to backpedal their way out
Right.
with good old fashioned ingenuity,
Right.
which I thought was wonderful. And I just love that they brought on these huge stars.
Yeah,
and, like Agnes Moorehead was a fucking movie
Dial M
star.
for murder. Yeah. She played the mom.
Rosebud. What one's that one? Citizen Kane.
Citizen Kane.
And
yeah.
she was just this amazing, brilliant, dramatic actress. And Elizabeth Montgomery was the one that said, "Would you please play my mother? I think it would be so much fun." And she says yes.
Yeah.
And so then
Which is funny because I think that was back when television was not as respected as movies.
exactly. And a lot of people, like if you watch the histories of some of these shows, they signed on for it thinking, "I'll get through the pilot."
Yeah.
Or their managers go, "Look, 13 at best, and then you can forget about living on this island." But no, now all those actors, their legacy is living on that island.
Right.
So,
But no residuals, I don't think.
no residuals.
Because residuals started what, in like the
No.
mid 70s or
Yeah.
late 70s? So all those shows in the 50s and 60s, they were one and done kind
No
of things.
product, nothing like that, which
Yeah.
is why they have to do the big
The reunions and
Yeah.
and conventions.
conventions. Do you go to any conventions?
I don't go. I go to sometimes I go to comic conventions and do stand up and stuff because I
Oh.
have a podcast called The Dork Forest.
That's right.
We're on it right
I know.
now.
I went to one.
Did you? What
I went
kind
to
of
my
convention?
first one. Okay, so love Bewitched, and after that, fell into Charmed. Love that one. Maybe it's a witch
Charmed.
thing. Love it. I got to go
Did
to
you
the
ever see
rap party.
Practical Magic? I just saw Practical Magic.
Wasn't that cute?
It was adorable.
I love that one. So I kind of like, the magical thing.
Yeah.
So anyways, Walking Dead. So my family watched the first season and I'm like, turn it off. I'm coming in. Turn it off. I can't look. Turn it off. And then I started watching it. Oh my God, Jackie, I have theme parties. Like on Sunday, my house, Pilar's friends, that's my youngest, they come over. So I got a house full of teenagers and we're eating theme food like sausage that look like guts and hands and chocolate brains. And yeah.
Wait, this is for The Walking Dead?
Yes.
The zombie show?
Yes.
AMC?
Yes.
Okay.
And I even sent Chris Hardwick. I mean, we worked together years ago at one of those festivals.
Yeah.
You mentioned the Montreal Festival in the van.
Yeah.
I always got this when I got in the van. I have the American bring the stool. Because
does that mean?
I couldn't get into and out of the van by myself. 'Cause I'm so short.
Oh, fair enough.
Bring the stool. Anyway, so fell in love with The Walking Dead. Fell in love with The Talking Dead. So happy for Chris Hardwick because he's a fan. Oh my God, he's a fan. And he asked the questions you want asked.
What are the questions? What questions are there?
On
It's
The
a
Walking
zombie
Dead?
show that they're like,
Are
you
you
kill zombies
kidding me
and
right
then
now?
Yeah.
Tell me you're kidding me right now.
No. Tell me what's great about The Walking Dead?
Oh my God.
It's zombies.
No, it's not. It's not about zombies. Zombies happen to be a character. Like this table is holding our drinks. That's what
Okay.
a zombie is.
Okay.
What it is, The Walking Dead are the people that are alive. They're the ones getting through. They're the ones that are choosing what is our next step. And it's like if let's say it's you, me, and Andy, and the zombie apocalypse took over right now. We're looking at three of us. Who's going to be our leader? Who's going to make our choices? Hey, Deb, you're not part of our family. We need to make sure that this food needs to go between me and Andy, and that's it. So friend or not, you're out. You need to find your way home.
Okay.
So there's all these decisions about where do we go to survive. And a couple times there are people that were like, you know what? I'm not going to survive. I choose to just end it all on my own terms right now.
Okay. So a couple of characters just kill themselves?
A couple of characters put themselves in danger where they knew that would be the outcome.
Suicide by cop?
Kind of.
Suicide by Walking Dead? By a zombie?
You know, this one guy in the first episode, I mean, and the acting is brilliant. I
How
can't
many
even
seasons
tell
are we
you.
in?
I think we're going into season 7.
Okay.
I think. And you don't watch it really?
No, I read the first 2 trades.
Love it.
Okay.
Love it. I think the
Yeah.
acting is phenomenal.
Okay.
Just the scenes where other characters are listening to each other. As an actor, you can you're just there. I mean, they're amazing. What a woman who has been abused by her husband for years has turned out to be one of the most fierce characters. Just found her voice, found her power, and is one of the favorite characters in The Walking Dead. But it really is a testament to survival.
So the first season is all about them sort of coming together?
Right. And figuring out what's going on.
Is it the same characters from the first season and to the 7th season?
Yes.
Okay.
Most of them are the same. We've lost a lot.
Sure. It's
yeah.
zombies. Zombies will kill people.
Yeah.
Sure.
And I like that, you know, sometimes your favorite character does die. That does happen. And I think it's a good jump off point because we have these amazing conversations afterwards. Like, what do you do when your leader who's been just amazing and getting you through the apocalypse, never making a mistake? Oh shit, he lost his mind. Now what do we do? You know? I mean, that's a big thing. What do you do if your loved one gets bit? And
Right.
you're like, am I going to put you down?
Right.
Or am I going to chain you up?
Okay.
You know?
I saw Shaun of the Dead.
I would chain my husband up. He said, I didn't even get the fucking question out of my mouth. And my Travis goes, shoot ya. What? Really? You'd kill me like that?
It's like, well, are you really there though?
Yeah.
Is that what the conversation becomes? Is like, so your loved one gets bit and you're like, well, are they really even there anymore?
Yeah.
But I suppose the same thing could be said of like people who have, like the people that are either in a coma or,
Right. See,
like
jump off points.
Right. The parallels to,
Right.
you know, should this person be, is it euthanasia or is
Right.
it cruel?
Right.
You know, because we
Right.
may find a cure.
Right.
Kind of thing.
Right. And you have people that are like, there could be a cure. And you have other people going, oh, hell no, we got to do this now. Not such a fan of Fear the Walking Dead, which happens in LA, because in Fear the Walking Dead, I feel like they're killing
What is
people
that?
way too soon. It's a prequel as to how this virus started.
Oh, it's another show?
It's another show.
Fear the Walking
How
Dead.
can you call yourself the Dork Forest if you don't have anybody talking about?
So there's not been a Walking Dead episode.
Are you? Can you call Chris? You're his friend, right?
No, I don't have his phone number.
Oh,
so
I sent him a doll, even some Walking Dead dolls I had made, so I could take them to the convention. Of course, I did. So anyway,
you went to a Walking Dead convention?
I did.
All right.
I did, and I thought I was going to be the oldest one there. called Yvette Nicole Brown. Do you know Yvette
I don't.
Nicole Brown? Oh my gosh. Character actress. Really beautiful. She has a new show coming out called The Mayor. She's on The Odd Couple. She's on everything. If you see her, you'll go, oh my God.
I recognize that lady.
So, anyway, so she's a big, huge fan too of The Walking Dead and is on The Talking Dead. And I said, am I too old to go? She goes, no, go. And I had a blast. I had a great time with, watching everybody in cosplay and stuff. But back to the Walking Dead and Talking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead. Fear of the Walking Dead happens in LA. And I feel like people are like, oh,
If you're slightly ill?
yeah. Oh, we'll kill you. Whereas in the Walking Dead that happens in Georgia, they're like putting people up in barns, like, hey, we might find a cure for this. So
Okay.
I'm putting my friends and my wife and everybody who has this in a barn and throwing them down some live chickens now and then. So there's all that questioning, even just leaving your house. Okay, the apocalypse is coming. We need to move to the desert, higher ground, whatever it is. And you see people grabbing things that mean something to them.
Right.
And you see people just grabbing the essentials. Who
Okay.
are you?
Oh, right. Okay.
And I've been in that situation several times with fires in our house because we live in the canyons. And
Right.
We've been evacuated.
Like, what are you going to take with you?
It is interesting. Like, I may never get this again, but when you're looking at the end of the world, what do you take?
Yeah.
That you want to go with you with your legacy? Or is it I just have room for food?
ID and money.
And what if you're driving away and there's some poor schmuck in a backpack going, please help me. I'm by myself. Please help me. Do you run him over and take his backpack? Because people do.
Okay.
Or do you pick him up and hope that he's not going to kill and rape everybody?
Right. Like he's the guy who kills and rapes everybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you don't know who's who. You don't know a good guy from a bad guy. So, oh my gosh, so many.
Does it encourage one side or the other?
No. You'll see a good guy make a mistake. Not make a mistake. Forgive me. You'll see a good guy make a choice that you go, oh God.
I hope it works out.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. That was pretty severe. Why did he do that? Why didn't he give him a chance? You see people that sacrifice themselves and you're like, wow. There's a lot of philosophical conversations that go on, especially about the greater good.
Right.
Are we doing this for the greater good? Or are we just trying to preserve our community, ourselves?
Right.
Are there still institutions that hold up like marriage?
Okay.
Yeah.
Like how does your life like do things last?
Do you still take a chance and fall in love?
Okay.
If this is the end of the world, are you going to take a chance and promise and fall in love? Now you've got another person you need to care for. Do you have a baby?
Right.
A baby is going to make noise. A baby's going to be hungry. A baby's going to have that high-pitched cry that walkers are going to hear.
Okay.
Do we take a chance on having a baby? No, seriously.
Right.
Baby's going to slow us down. Do you take care of
That is true in life, though.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Do you take care of your elderly?
Oh, right. Or do you just abandon the weak and the elderly
Exactly.
or the babies of the world?
Right.
And just
Right.
think about number one.
Do you bury your friends? Do you take the time to stop and bury your friends?
Oh, that's
if
wow.
you need to keep going.
And so these are the questions that are addressed in this program.
I think so. Yeah. In Talking
And do
Dead.
they?
And the after show too of Talking Dead, they do. It really starts because I'm in the chat rooms and stuff. And like I said, Jackie, I think it really takes it to a different level. And like I said, I've got all these teenagers in my room watching the show.
No, but does the show actually, do they bury their dead?
Yes. They will bury some of their dead. Right. Some of them they burn. It depends on
the time,
on the time, how much time they have, where they're going. If that guy was a douche, fuck him. We're going to string him up to a tree and let zombies eat him.
Right.
Do you go find your friend who was an amazing friend, got bit, and now she's a zombie out there? Do you risk everything to go find her to put her down so she doesn't continue to be in this
thing?
Right. There was a child who was evil, and really put everybody in danger. And there was a show about whether or not we kill this kid.
Because it was a child. How old was the kid?
A child, like
11?
No, 9, 10.
Oh, wow.
Feeding walkers, attracting them, just putting everybody in danger.
Because they thought it was she thought it was funny, or he thought it was
she thought, they're just friends. you know, but she was really evil, and she
So she wasn't dumb. She was genuinely evil.
genuinely evil. And it took some episodes to get there, and it took some conversations,
Right.
you know,
to explain to her.
to explain that. And eventually someone does just put her down. And you're like, what just
happened?
It had to be done. It had to be done. You know?
Okay.
Yeah. If you're going to leave the door open and let everybody come and kill my kids, fuck you. You're going down.
Right.
Right? If there's this much, and I'm diabetic. And if there's this much insulin, who gets it?
Right.
You know?
Right.
And if I'm, you know, in my late 50s, I'm like, you know what? Give it to the kid
Right.
that has a chance. Give it to the strong one.
Right.
Oh, and there's also a character who will not kill. That's his thing. He won't kill.
He won't kill the zombies?
Won't kill them, but he'll beat the shit out of them with a
bat?
Yeah. So he's learned this whole, you know, peace, love, kumbaya. A person is a person no matter what.
Yeah.
Treat them with respect.
Is he a vegetarian? He should be.
I think he might be,
But it might
And
not
you
be
know-
an issue yet.
Yeah, and
That's hilarious.
sometimes it's an issue. You know, like you come by and you see water. You're dying of thirst, and there's a case of water there. Do you drink it?
Why
You
wouldn't
know?
you?
How do you know somebody didn't poison it?
Oh.
So that when your whole tribe drops dead, now we've got knives, guns, whatever we need.
Oh,
canned
interesting.
food.
Oh, like
Yeah.
it's a booby trap.
Exactly.
Because people have broken up into like sort of feudal.
Exactly. And it
Like-
makes you wonder. You know, like again, I live where the fires have been prominent and the neighborhood comes together.
Yeah.
We know who lives where. We know who needs rides. We know who has dogs. We know who's working during the day and isn't at home to get their dog. And we work together. And it makes you wonder, how bad do things have to get before all you care about is what's in my freezer and what's in my pantry, and no, I will not share.
Right.
Because my family comes first.
Right.
Who is family?
Right. It's a very Hobbes versus Locke kind of moment.
Yeah,
Holy,
yeah.
the political philosophy here is
Oh,
amazing.
Yes. Yes.
Right. The nature of civilization and the nature of what community means and what politics and the purpose of government.
Exactly. Democracy. Are we voting on this?
Right.
Are we voting on who's our leader?
Was there?
There have been times when they all get together and they have a council and they go, let's hear everybody out and let's decide what to do. And everybody makes their arguments.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then has there been problems with leadership?
Absolutely. You have leaders that lose it.
Yeah.
You have leaders that want everything.
Are there coups?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, but it happens. It takes a while, and there's a lot of conversation that goes into it.
Okay.
And you know, as actors and writers, I have so much respect and so much awe for these people that do this work, because you'll never be in this situation. How do you write it? You know,
Right.
how do you come
Right,
up
if you-
with these ideas?
Right. If you've never been in any sort of war-torn country,
Yeah.
where the world has gone completely bananas.
Exactly. Scrap the whole Bewitched thing. This is what I want to talk
Right.
about. This is
right. That's what I like to find out at 34 minutes.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, no,
I'm
please.
sorry.
It's so.
But I thought Walking Dead, sure, somebody will, you know, between the comics and the shows and, you know, the conventions.
you pick whatever you pick.
Yeah.
So
but
it's
there
all
was,
good.
and there are really evil leaders. Do you respond to an evil leader because he'll keep
what
you
makes
alive?
an evil leader?
Well, there's a rapist. That's the newest one. He's kind of rapey.
Okay.
And tortures people and rules by you follow me or we burn your face and you stay alive. See, that's the hard part too, is that you can't even kill people unless you go through the brain. They're alive forever, which is an awful thing. You know what I mean?
Wait, you have to wait. The zombies only get killed if you shoot them in the brain?
Exactly.
And if you
Or stab them but it has to be a brain thing.
a brain thing.
Yeah.
So, but if you kill a regular person and then they get bit by the zombies, do they come back to life?
If you kill a regular person, you become a zombie. We all have the virus in us. And we found that out maybe 4 episodes in.
Oh, wow.
Not 4 episodes, 4 seasons in.
Wait. Oh, so if you kill anybody, they become a zombie.
Or if
Unless
anybody
you kill them in the
dies a
brain.
natural death.
They turn into a zombie.
Yes. What
That's
if you,
kind of an
what if you have a
interesting-
miscarriage?
Right.
What happens to that?
Well, it's a pile of goo, but that pile of goo turns into
Has a brain?
yeah. But so it just but a pile of goo isn't really mobile.
No, but it could eat you from the inside out. That's being really macabre. We're being macabre at this point. I think the thing is, like, do we still have institutions like Start Families?
What is it? What is Start Families? The institution?
There's
Is
a
that
couple. Yeah, like, do we want to start a family?
Oh, fair enough. Yeah.
Is this the kind of world we want to bring a child into?
Sure.
Anyway, so
But how do you not? Right? I mean, there's part of you that's like, well, so I use birth control and a condom and just so you don't make
I
sure.
don't even see how people are having sex in the apocalypse. Seriously.
Right. You
I
got to
need
be.
everything in the right
I mean, you'd
mood.
have to be kind of rapey. You'd have
Yeah.
to want to do it. You'd have to be the rapey guy.
Yeah.
So he's strong enough to be a leader.
Yeah,
This
Negan.
guy.
His name is Negan.
Okay, so he's strong enough to be a leader, so people follow him.
No,
But-
he's cruel. He's a cruel, cruel man. He carries a baseball bat named Lucille wrapped in barbed wire.
Okay.
And to our heroes, the group that we've been following all these years, took two of the most beloved characters and killed him. It was so gruesome.
Right.
I looked at my couch and these kids were they didn't cry. They didn't move. They
Right.
didn't say anything. They were just horrified.
Holy shit. Yeah.
Horrified.
And how old are the kids who
They're
are
like
watching?
18, 19.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So they're young adults.
Yeah, but
Right? This
just-
isn't like 7-8-year-olds.
No.
Should not be watching this program.
But they are just horrified in the manner that the way this person was killed. Like, oh, you love him? That's your husband?
Right.
That's the father. Watch this. And then just beat him to death with a bat as he's saying, I still love you.
right.
Keep moving on. I love you. I'll always be with you, as he's getting his head bashed in. So that's how the current,
He's a leader of a different group.
exactly.
So that
you find
group,
there's
why do
different
people-
groups all over.
Yeah. So why? So the people follow him because they are cruel, or they're just desperate, or
They're
they've been
desperate.
bullied.
They're
Like
desperate.
everybody's desperate,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah.
But people gather for different reasons in their desperation.
Exactly.
And the group that we follow, they have a more a more constitutional sentimentality to it, where there's
And it could be because that's our group.
Yeah.
It could be because that's who we started with. Like
Yeah.
we were saying in our conversation earlier, you know some guy and maybe he doesn't get along with the other comics, but you're
Yeah.
like, I know him.
right.
So we know this group. Mm-hmm. We've followed this group.
So because there could be monsters in our group too. right?
Absolutely.
So bad guys or people who go nuts, or
Right.
Yeah.
Or
so
just-
how many people are in the cast that we follow? Like that we've been like, so if clearly two of our people have died.
Oh, we've lost people and it can happen the first episode. It can happen mid-season. It's not even like
it's not a cliffhanger. It's just random.
It could be a cliffhanger. Like
Right.
they killed. We knew that they killed somebody at the end of one of the episodes at the
Yeah.
end of seasons, and then they didn't show it.
Okay. So they
made
just
you
waited.
wait. And so Chris Hardwick talks about not even being able to go out in public without people going, "What the fuck happened?"
Yeah.
And people were upset, and we got back to it, and the new season, bam, we saw who died within moments. And that's
Right.
when I had all these kids like, what happened? And then they continued with the story.
Okay.
And I get it. I think if they had killed him at the end, we'd have all this time to kind of make peace with it.
Yeah.
But to have two of the most beloved characters killed
Oh,
right
they were
in
the
front
ones that
of
were
you.
killed, and then you had to wait and find out about it.
Yes.
Okay.
And they shot scenes with all of the actors because paparazzi is all over this
Oh,
show.
right.
So they filmed death scenes with all of the actors.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
So nobody knew
nobody
who died.
knew.
Yeah.
And then I get it. Like I was pissed off at first, and then I thought, no, I do like the fact that it happened at the beginning of the season. Oh my gosh. And then, so I'm at MGM Grand in Vegas, and they
Right.
have East Coast feed. So I'm like, I get to watch the show here right now in the green
Early.
room.
Yeah.
So I'm watching in the green room, right? And then the manager goes, "Hey, Deb, I got to run this guy to the airport. I'm going to lock you in the room, but I'll come back." Because I said, by the time I go back to my room,
Yeah.
I'm going to miss so much.
Right.
I don't have a rewind button. Jackie, I ate what I was supposed to. I got the exercise I was supposed to. I had the medication I was supposed to. But when he came back to unlock me from that room, my sugar was at 400.
What does that mean?
That means go to the hospital kind of thing. Yeah. Or start insulin treatments immediately. But it was that much fear being alone in a green room, which is always kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Being
Why did he
locked in.
lock you in?
I think because so that nobody at the MGM could just walk in the green room.
Okay.
So you're locked in the green room.
But you could have gotten out.
I could have gotten out.
You're not locked in.
I want to see what's going to happen. So my family just loves that I turned into this, I can't watch to watching it. And you get past the gruesome. You get
used
there
to
with
it.
ribs and pizza and everything. You get used to it. Bloated zombies found in the bottom of the well.
So the makeup has got to be incredible.
Amazing.
They can really make people look really dead these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're doing good work in makeup.
Oh, I know. Severed heads. My
Sure.
friend Brad Garrett was. Did you see Fargo?
No. Well, the movie or the TV show?
The TV show.
No.
Am I going to give you a spoiler?
No, go for it.
So he gets.
I will alert the masses that
Yes.
there are spoilers for Fargo and for Walking Dead.
He gets killed. He's like one of my best friends in the world.
Brad Garrett. Oh, yeah.
One of my
Stand-up
best-
comic. I've met him one time only in passing.
generous heart.
Very tall.
Yeah, he's
Super
really
tall.
I don't realize
He was
it.
on the Raymond show.
Yeah.
There you
I
go.
don't realize it till we're walking.
Right.
But
For
how
you are
often-
very short.
Yeah.
And he is enormously tall.
Yeah.
So you are a caricature.
But really, how often do you like walk with your friends somewhere?
Yeah.
You know, usually in a couch or
you're sitting. Yeah.
So, anyways, so
He was on Fargo?
Yeah, he was in Fargo, second season. He plays a mob boss. And so he gets decapitated. And I'm messaging him at the same time going, dude, is your head in that hat box?
Yeah.
Is your head in the
They
hat
made
box?
that hat. They made that head.
Yeah. They made the head. So then Pilar, who loves Brad, she says, Mom, can you ask him for the head? I'm like, no. And she goes, Danny Trujillo's kids got his head from Breaking Bad. I'm
Oh,
like,
that's hilarious.
no, we don't ask our friends for their heads.
Right. And that's hilarious. And if someone did get his head, it would be his kids.
Exactly.
There you go.
That's what I said.
Right. You don't just give them to your neighbors,
Yeah.
your friends' kids.
Well, I
Yeah.
did say to her, I go, what's wrong with you? And she goes, oh, his kids get it first. I'm like, no.
Someone else, if he wants it, he might be able to get
Yeah.
it. But maybe not because they can repurpose that head.
That's what he said. He said, I would love to give it to her, but we might need it. What a crazy world we live in.
Yeah, the most gruesome thing I watch are like bones. And no, you're not missing anything. It's like Castle. It's the same
Yeah, yeah,
thing. It's
yeah.
like NCIS.
Yeah.
But Bones has gruesome and I haven't watched Bones in years, but because it's the only thing that's on it's on USA like 5 hours in a row.
Right.
And
I
like,
love that.
Yeah, like 1 in the afternoon on USA. So I'll spend 5 or 7 hours, or I used to, and in a hotel room just watching television.
Did you know that there's a, oh gosh, I'm going to say camp for lack of better word, but it's where people donate their bodies to cadavers and they put them in different situations to see how they,
That's an episode of Bones. You're talking about an episode of Bones to see how they decompose.
Yes.
Yes. So that murder people can tell how long. how old
exactly
things
like,
are.
oh, she was in the,
You saw that episode
Yeah.
of Bones?
no, I know
there
there's
you
a
go.
real place. I know there's a real place in America, somewhere in middle America where they have like a
Just a-
cadaver farm.
Right.
Where people can study.
Yeah. Cadavers.
Exactly.
And
which
how-
is
and
where
how
they
they-
get their information for these shows, which is
Right.
a little frightening.
Well,
Have you seen Call the Midwife?
No. What is that?
That's pretty frightening.
Where's that on?
Women that have babies back in the 40s, 50s, and 60s, and when midwives were prevalent in England. And so you just watch women giving birth. Every single episode is a
What
woman
channel is it
giving
on?
birth. PBS.
It's like a documentary thing, or
No, it's a series. It's a
So it's
one-
fictionalized.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you got the
Yeah,
legs and feet coming first. That's wrong.
Right. That's
supposed to be a
the
head.
head. Right. Somebody's been turned around
Yeah.
in the. Yeah.
Yeah.
So is it now? Do you think Call the Midwife is encouraging midwifery or not? Notice I know how to pronounce midwifery.
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know.
Like, what do they? Whenever a TV show comes on, I always do wonder what they're selling. Because
Right.
there's always a B plot. I don't care
Exactly.
if it's fiction or nonfiction or whatever. There's always a B
Right.
plot. There's always
I
something.
think, you know what, Jackie, since you phrased it that way, I think it's choice for women. I think that the show is very respectful and they write women very well and the cast is amazing and it's always about the woman's choice.
Like, do you want to go with a
Do you want
midwife
to
or
go,
not?
right. Do you want to have the baby at home? Do you want to have it in hospital? Do you want your husband there? Do you not want your mother-in-law there?
Right.
And now they're going into the 60s with the pill.
Okay.
And so here's another option and choice for women that should be theirs. And they respectfully write it about it being
interesting.
their choice.
Yeah.
So I think their underline is always women's rights.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, and-
okay, that's cool.
Yeah, very
Well,
cool.
or at least I am in favor of that.
Yeah, and they're mouthpieces for these women.
Yeah.
That say she doesn't want you here.
Right.
Get out.
Right. When
You
it
know?
was that some woman posted that thing, and I think I reposted it on Facebook about how the great thing about legalized abortion is that it means that you get to choose. Nobody says you have to get an abortion. You get to choose to be pregnant and have a baby.
Right.
Or you get to not. If abortion is illegal, you don't have that choice
Right.
anymore. You are forced to be pregnant and have a baby.
Right.
Whether it is to term and it will live and it will be a thing. So why pro-choice is a good idea. And she put it much more succinctly
Yeah.
than this. And I wish I had memorized it because it's a great way of doing it. And she's like, if you take away the choice of abortion, it means that you are insisting that people be pregnant.
Right.
And that is taking away
Yes.
someone's rights.
And it's pro-choice, not pro-abortion.
It's
I
not
don't know
pro-abortion.
anybody who says, yay, abortion. Or,
Nobody.
I loved my abortion.
Nope. And Crazy Pence and you have to bury your miscarriage. I'd like to bury Pence is what I'd like
Right.
to do. Because
Yeah.
it's, I'm not going to pay for a casket for a pile of goo.
Right.
It seems,
It's
it was sad
morbid.
enough as it was.
Yeah.
It was both disappointing and a relief that I didn't know what it was.
Yeah.
But it was disappointing enough as it was.
Do we have a lot of funerals for spilled seed?
right. And
Come
is
on.
there a law that tells me what hand you get to jerk off with? There
Right.
isn't.
Right.
So keep it together. Anyway, so so there are like 7 characters in Walking Dead?
They pick some up as they go.
Okay, so they add
So
to it.
They add to it. We have like,
and then you
1,
get to
2,
find out
3,
what
4.
kind of person they are.
Right. Or what happens when they are, when somebody does have to step and be the leader. When you see somebody who's only been the nurturer, now she has to become the leader. There was one.
Because leaders get killed.
Well, they're the targets.
Yeah.
Or
Are
like
the zombies smart enough to give them targets, or is it other humans that are killing them?
humans are the people that you need to fear, not the dead.
Oh,
The
interesting.
dead is this coffee table holding up our drinks.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the zombies are they're just a danger.
They're a danger. If they're in a herd, yeah, now you're in real danger. But if there's one coming at you, you could probably get them, boom in the head and it's over.
Right.
But the dead are not,
The real issue.
they're not the real issue.
The real issue are the other
They're
people.
part of the environment.
Right. It's so the other people that you have to.
Exactly.
So you have your team, and then somebody else has their community.
Exactly.
And they want your stuff.
Exactly.
So that's what the show is about?
Yes. Or your people. Like, let's
Or
say they
within
go,
your group.
Yeah. Within your group. Let's say you have 3 or 4 really strong people. They're like, we want that one, and that one. Kill the rest.
They want
Right.
to, they want to add to their army. essentially.
Exactly.
Oh, weird.
And then, like one woman, the one who was abused, which I thought was amazing, just abused by her husband for years and years, found her voice, after he was killed, but she just came out to be one of the fiercest, warriors. And there was a strain of something going around killing people. So she knew at some point we're going to have they were living in a jail at the time. And then again, you're looking for places to go and
that are secure.
That are secure. So in your mind, you're like, where would I go? A hospital? Where would I go? A jail cell? Where would I go?
A prison or
A prison.
So they're in a prison.
They're in a prison.
because it's lockable.
That's lockable. And there's food, tons of food, canned food. So anyway, so she
A lot of
decides,
salt. No, just kidding.
she decides to kill, a couple of the infected people before they turn. Like, you know what? Let's nip this at the bud. Mm-hmm. And so the group kicked her out.
Oh,
And in her mind, she's like, I'm saving everybody before they spread this.
right.
And
And is that what
they
happened?
weren't going to get better.
Right.
Yeah.
And did they not get better?
They didn't. Well, she killed them.
Oh, she did kill
But
them.
there
And
wasn't
then
any-
they expelled her.
Yeah.
And so where is she? Is she just gone? Or is this real time?
She's come back
okay.
time and time again. And you know what, Jackie, if you know like some of your literature, it's amazing because there was a wooden horse episode.
Trojan horse?
Trojan horse episode where
Yeah.
somebody's hiding within something.
Yeah.
They're just, I can't say enough about it. I think it really is something that opens your mind, makes you think. Look at how much conversation we're having now.
Well, exactly. Well, my curiosity with all zombie related plots is what's the end game? And so here's my question. So if zombies are just a danger, if it's just a thing that you have to deal with,
Because eventually they'll die out, right?
Well, I mean, supposedly in my head, the two different things, the only way zombie things can end is everyone becomes a zombie or you find a cure for zombieism.
Right.
I mean, if zombieism never gets cured, then zombieism continues to be a danger forever. And then possibly if the zombies win, then everybody becomes a zombie and then they die out.
Right.
Because there's nothing to eat. Or they cure zombieism and that's the end of the show. But maybe the end of this show is something else. Maybe it's if the zombies are just sort of out in nature, like maybe it's the way humans conquered nature before.
Right.
You know, then we are creating like,
you mean like wild animals?
Yeah, like wild
Yeah,
animals. So maybe the governments that are created in these different groups, if they become bigger and bigger and bigger, you're like, okay, now we have a walled city. There are zombies out there. They need to be dealt with. And then we also have cattle, right? That we raise for ourselves. And then we have zombies that we fight because
but some people
as a
use
danger.
the zombies.
Oh, do they?
They use them as like protection. Like they have their huge wall and then they chain up zombies around their huge wall. So now nobody can get in.
Oh, weird.
Yeah.
Because the zombies,
You can
do they
still
never
use
die?
one when you shoot them in the head.
But they don't die of starvation?
No, they'll continue. And that has been such a challenge for the makeup artists on the show, getting skeletal zombies on fire. They can stay on fire. They see fire, so they are, alerted to that. They respond to loud noises, which is what I was saying about the baby.
Yeah.
But
so they can be skeleton zombies?
yeah,
Except for that they have the tiniest amount of...
underwater zombies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So then, so people use them as sort of watchdogs.
Yes. Yes. Or in the first episode,
But how do the people get past them?
it was interesting in the first episode, and you think, why don't they do this all the time then? In the first episode, they get a zombie, right? They get a guy, they kill him. He's laying there. They take out his wallet and they go, this guy's name was Bill Smith. He had a girlfriend. Here's a picture. He had $23 in his wallet because he wasn't going to spend 17 on a Heineken or whatever. No, he had money in his wallet. He had a library card, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And we will remember him. And then they gut him. Mm-hmm. And then they take everything and they put it on them, all his guts and blood and everything.
What?
And then they walk through because they realize the zombies smell if you're alive.
Oh, so
if you're dead and decaying, they're not going to bother you. They just think that they're...
Oh, so you have to wear the dead on you to get through zombies.
Exactly. So we've had things in like meat ponchos.
Yuck.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's one of the things they do too. So
it's so unfair for me to try to be squeezing 7 episodes into what's going on. Then you have the comic book readers who have been pretty happy with the show.
Okay.
But they know what's going on too, you know, in the comic books. And I love that the writers of the show need to keep it fresh for them too, including.
Right. Are they still following? It's John Layman or something. John, like he says, he writes Invincible too, I think. So, because I read the first 2 trades and I read probably 75 issues of Invincible, and I've read a bunch of different stuff by this guy. Is he still writing Walking Dead? Are there still new comics coming out to your knowledge?
I don't follow the comics.
Okay. So
I don't follow the comics.
But the people who've read the comics love the show, or many of them do.
Many of them do.
Yeah.
Many of them do.
Because sometimes there's critical, you're just like, it doesn't work. And, I'm going to go back to the comics, but that's fine. I mean, it's not, I always think it's a different medium.
Right.
So you're not necessarily, you don't have to stay true to it. I think American Gods, just came out, the Neil Gaiman, prose book, and the series that I think is on Amazon, might be on Stars actually, but, the series has already deviated and it's only like the 2nd episode, or the 1st or 2nd from the book. Mm-hmm. And you're like, that's fine. But Game of Thrones, they're ahead of the books now.
Oh,
so it's like that. So, but you can write in a world if it's fan fiction if you're not getting paid, but if you're getting paid, then it's just fiction. Right. And, right. It's all good. Debi Gutierrez, this has been fascinating. I wish we could just keep going and talk more about the
You
Walking
should come
Dead.
to one of my parties.
No.
Because
No, I can't watch The Walking Dead. I'm good. But I love hearing about it a lot. And so don't be, it's the only thing I watch is Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. It is I've also watched The Great British Bake Off, but I don't think that's on right now.
I love when I tweet you about what's going on politically and you say, turn off the TV.
Oh my God, step away.
Step away from the TV.
Andy told me that this morning. He said, you got to get away from the news right now. It's driving you. And I said, I'm not doing too much of it. And he goes, yeah, but right now it's a lot.
But don't you,
So I stepped away.
Don't you think though, as somebody who travels for a living, we kind of need to have our finger on the pulse of what's going on?
I don't know. Much like The Walking Dead, I'm just going to address the thing in front of me.
Okay.
It's and then I'm going to try to live to the next episode.
Right.
And if what's his face, if he ends up stealing millions of dollars, and we all live through this, and there's any representative republic left at the end of this, that's fine. It'll be worth every dime. So just to get him out of office. But
then I read something that Van Jones posted yesterday saying that let him run his 4 years, because at the end of 4 years, nobody's going to want to hear anything any Republican wants to say because they'll be fed up.
Well, if we last, yeah. He's already done a great deal of damage. They all have. And I don't know if this was actually correct. Somebody posted the succession. Like if he resigns, it'll be Pence. If Pence resigns, it'll be what? Paul Ryan?
Yeah, Speaker of the House.
And then it went down, and every name was a name of like a Nazi or a Klansman or just someone who's just a giant dirtbag.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, so we don't win. No, the United States does not win and get a human back unless 13 people resign or are killed.
And the nepotism,
and I don't want to kill 13 people.
Right. And the nepotism is unbelievable. I mean, if Ivanka and Donald Jr. and
it's usually just been cronyism.
Yeah.
And now
it's nepotism. And if they were named Hussein and Kusei,
right,
we would be like, what?
Exactly.
Remember how we
Even
were
if it was Jose.
Right.
And
but you know how all these other
Armin.
dictators had all their kids in power.
Right. He's
like,
in Saudi Arabia right now.
Oh, kissing their feet. Did you see him
in
curtsy?
Israel?
Did you? I know.
It's
because he loves walls. Oh my God.
I've seen the speculative fiction of the thing that he put in the wall. Some of them are very funny. Anyway, Debi Gutierrez, Debi with an I, Debi, and it's DebiOnTheWeb.com and Debi on the Web. Twitter. It's in the notes.
Say it in a square.
Say it in the.
Say it in a square, which is
it in a square,
which is a love note book that my husband writes me love notes every single day. I posted today what he wrote about coming on your show.
I thought Satan square.
No, say it in a square.
Yeah.
They're love notes that he posts every day, including Jackie when we had a fight and almost killed each other. Like, pack your bags, you're going back to your mama.
Yep.
So I went back downstairs.
And he still wrote you a note?
There was a note that said, I love you.
That's adorable.
Yeah. So, and we're doing dirty say it in a square coming out in the fall. Because people are like, these are sweet. Well, Brad goes, this isn't you. You're dirty. You love a good dick joke.
Who doesn't love a good dick joke? Brad Garrett.
A good one.
Speaking of which, MGM September in Vegas.
September 11th.
Is that the Brad? Is that the MG? Is that Brad Garrett's club? Okay,
because Brad Garrett 11th for a week
has a comedy club in Las Vegas. You are headlining it in September. It is in the MGM Grand. Go see Debi Gutierrez, you guys. You will not regret it. And she would like you also to watch The Walking Dead. Okay, bye. Oh, you know the rules out there. Take care of each other.
My hat, my hat, my hat. They're dancing around my hat. My hat, my hat, my hat. Well, what do you think of that? If it looks like a Mexican hat dance and it sounds like a Mexican hat dance, it's most likely a Mexican hat dance. So take off your hat and let's dance.
Yay! Oh my God. Why don't we just call that as the end of the show?